Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
I was discussing when we go into the table view, we went into the corporate data model under that HRIS element and we went into the first column, location group, and there I just tried to change the label here. Up to here it is clear. After this in the location group only, if you want to see the HRIS field, then you can see the third column HRIS field where you can click on the plus sign. How many fields are there, including the standard and the custom? 76 fields. I showed you right. Here, when we click on the plus sign, can you see again that HRIS field? You can see the attributes. You can see heading length, its visibility, required label right. Here you can see it starts with external code. External code. These all are the IDs. If you want to see the label of this external code, what you need to do? You have to click on the label part here. What is the name here showing? Location group it right. If I want to make some slight modification, let me underscore it if I'm just doing like this. I'm showing you how to do the corrections or do the changes. There won't be any change, any impact in the head right. If you want to increase the length, also you can increase, you can. If you want to change the visibility to none, also that is also possible. Similarly, if you can see name also, when you go into the name, I will click on the label part. You can see the name it is showing as location group name, right? Right? Just I'm making some slight changes. When I'm making changes, I just want to show you it is reflecting in the front and the back. That is the whole purpose. I made the changes. There won't be any impact here. Now you have a description. Description also you can see label part state as start date, end date. Can you hear? Can you see? Here the custom strings are starting right. Custom string which I told you in the source mode also. When I go back into the system, let me open manage object page structure. It's still browsing. Just give me some movement and I will go to manage object page structure. And I will open it and I will go to location group. I'm going into the location group. And I'm selecting some location group here. You can see here the location area and location area list how it is coming. This is a custom one. When I go into the XML, you can see custom string one right. If I'm just going here into the label, can you see here? Location area. Correct. It is showing here. If I'm making this visibility as none, making this visibility as none, already I created it. And another also I created, that is custom string 2. When you go here, you can see here location area list. Can you see there's the same thing it is reflecting here? Right. Any. I mean, you didn't upload it, but how is it getting with that? In my previous batches, I'm telling to you, in my previous batches, I already created it. That is the reason it is showing. Now what I'm doing? I'm making the changes to hide it, that when we import it, it should not show. Now it is showing right here. Because these two I created in the XML. Now what I will do? I will keep it as none. That the purpose is that these two custom fields should not reflect. And if I want to go and create a new custom, can you tell me what would be the possible custom field we can create for location group? ID is their name is the description status. What field we can create? Location. Location group. Location subgroup. We can create. What I will do? I will just edit this. Location. Subgroup. And this is non-right. I will make it both. And I will keep the character as 32. What are the changes I made? I made the changes to the code label. Made the changes to the name. Custom field, I have made it none. And custom again, a new custom field, I created it. Is it clear? Now, these are the changes which I have done in the XML. This is for which? HS element location group, right? Now, the same thing. Whatever changes you make in the table view, same thing will be reflecting in the source. When I go into the source, you can see here custom strings. You can see. And when I go and see the label, can you see the label subgroup? It is coming. Right. And let me see up. Can you see visibility as none? Custom string. And similarly for custom string 1 also. Visibility as 1. Now what we will do, I will just save it. Whatever changes I have made, I will just save it. After making the changes, what I will do, I was in the table view. I have done it. For which element? Location group, right? I have changed the label for location group. Certain fields I have hidden. Certain fields label I have changed. And custom field load. I have new custom field. I created it. After this, I save it. And I will close it. Now I need to import it, right? I will duplicate the screen. And the same process we need to follow from the provisioning for all the data models. Right? Foundation. Import export copy data model. I am clicking on just a minute. What I will do, I will just choose the file. I am still audible. I will choose the file from the folder where I have saved the file. I will just delete it. Data model. This one. This is the file. This is the file. This is the original file. This is the version which we have changed. I select this file. Without a comment, I cannot able to import it. If I import it also, it will throw us an error. I have to mention what I will mention. I will mention change changes made in the foundation object. Therefore write which is of the location group. Location group and fields. Right. This I have done it. And I have attached it. Now you can see the extension also. It is showing as an XML. Right. It should come when you are saving. Also, it should be assured that it should be in the XML. Just click on import. Now, once it is being done, go back into just refresh the page here. After refreshing the page, go to Manage a job-based structure. Just go to, you can see, first of all, it is get changed. Can you see here? We have changed the label, right? Location group. Now when we are going, if you want to go and see the field, let's see the field. The field also, it is coming right. Location group ID underscore name. Can you see here? The two custom field, we have hidden it. That is also not showing. And the third custom field which we created, that is showing here. Any questions here? Is it clear how we are doing? Now, I have shown you now how to remove the changes. I will just try to import the original one. And I will just try to input it. We go back here, refresh this page once. And I will open this one, that is manage your job-based structure. And when I go into location, now you can see it went back to normal. I am selecting it. You can see it went back to normal. In this way, we can able to work on the XML earlier. This was not available after October 2021. This option is available in the front end, where we can able to export the XML and then we can able to create a copy of it, work on the XML, do the changes, and for doing this, I shown you both the method source and the table. Also, both methods I have shown you. For whichever you are comfortable, you can make the changes and the association also from the effort. Whichever is connected, that also we can do it. Any questions here? For the corporate data model, now the second letter model is the succession matter model, but succession matter model. There is no option that succession matter model. We can able to access from the front end what SAP has done. They introduced a new feature that is known as a managed business configuration. What is the name of the feature managed business configuration? Let me go into the Excel and just cover up some part of the theoretical that we will go into the system. Now you can able to see Manage Business Configuration. Manage Business Configuration is a tool which is used in the front end as a part of extended part of succession data model. All the succession data model, we are unable to use the succession data model from the front end. Only certified consultants can able to access the success model. How we have used the corporate data model from the front end. Similarly, we need to use the succession data model from the back end system. But SAP has also introduced a new feature that is known as a managed business configuration, which is an extended part of succession matter model. What is this feature? We will see. The managed business configuration is also known as BCUI. That is the business configuration UI. Some part of the succession data model has been migrated from the provisioning to the instance. Some part of the succession data model has been migrated from the provisioning to the instance. We, as end user admin, can make the minor changes of the field in the employee profile or in the people's profile with the help of the BCUI. Employee profile is also known as people profile. Whenever you are making some changes, you want to make the changes. In terms of succession, in terms of the employee related field, we rather going into succession data model. We can do it from the front end with the help of managed business configuration. Is it clear? It allows the administrator to configure certain elements, related to data using the tools within the instance. And it also maintains this element in the XML. Any administrator, if you are an administrator, or if from the company side, if there is any administrator, configure certain elements. Using that, Using element related to the data, using the tool within the instance means from the instance system we can able to do the changes. Rather, and it also maintains these elements in XML file. Rather going and doing the changes from the XML. We can make the changes from the instant also with the help of this tool, because this tool is lies with the instance system, front end system. Any questions here? Stopping for the while. Any reflections? Anything from your end? Are you understanding what I'm saying? What is about the managed business configuration? What is all about this tool? Is it getting to you for you? I mean the people profile, I mean the steep part of the dark sea. When you go into now, we were discussing about this one like foundation object. Now, after foundation of that is where in the corporate data model, right? All these objects and fields are from where it is coming on the corporate data model. That is completed. That topic is completed. Now, when we are discussing about succession data model, means we are discussing about the employee profile, right? When you go into an employee profile, every sections you can see that here. Possible information, employment information. Correct. These are subs. This entire screen is called as an employee profile or the people profile. First of all, every section will be having subsection and every subsection will be having what is this called? Portlet, and every portrait will be having standard field as less custom fields. We are discussing from where these fields are coming now. Proper data model topic is over. Now we are discussing about sufficient data model. These fields salutation, first name, middle name, last name. These fields are defined in where in the succession data model, right? But who can access the succession data model? I think the in provisioning, but we can access a little bit and resting provision. I mean instant a little and resting provision. Succession data model lies in the provisioning. Who can access the certified consultants and non-certified consultant cannot access the provisioning system. For accessing the succession data model, you should be certified. But to other way of accessing this data, SAP has introduced a new feature. What is that new feature called? Managed business. Managed business configuration where it is located in the front end or it is in the back end. This is in front end. The same thing, only I am discussing here. When you have a feature that is in the front end, any administrator allowed to configure certain elements related to data. What is the element called here? Element means salutation, first name. These are something. If you want to add something also that can be possible from the front end, that is from the managed business configuration. That only, it is different. And the same thing will be automatically updated where in the XML. Although you are doing the changes where in the front end, but the changes will be automatically updated in the XML, that is in the backend system. Managed business configuration covers following cases. These are the following cases which we can able to do certain minor changes from the front end. What are the things we can do? Changing the label. When you go here, if you want to change this label, this also we can able to do it from the front end rather going into the XML. Adding or changing the translation. Now you can see this is showing in which language, English, right? If you want to make the same thing in other translation also, that is also possible. In the VCU, that is adding or changing the translation. Activating the field. Activating the field. What you are enabling that field. Now the field is enabled. That is the thing this field is. Visible to us. First of all, you have to activate the field. Enable that field. That enabling that field also it is possible from the Managed Business Configuration. Changing the display sequence of the field. Changing the display sequence mark. What is the display sequence here? Salutation, first name, middle name, last name. This is a sequence, right? Which is coming. If you want to reshuffle the sequence you want to make the preferred name at the after salutation, then the first name, then that sequence also can be reshuffled. From the Managed Business Configuration. Then the visibility. You have activated the field, but you want to hide the visibility. Field is activated. This field is activated, but you are hiding the field. That is called as a visibility. We have already seen in the XML. Visibility equal to none both. We have already seen, right, that we can do it from the Managed Business Configuration for employee related fields. Setting the field to required mandatory. Setting the field to required mandatory. You can see, right, if it is mandatory or not, you will have a star mark, right? When I go back here, I will go to personal information. Let me take some random date. You can see these fields which is showing here. Can you see the field, the star mark, salutation, first name, last name? There are certain mandatory options are showing me, right? That is called as a required or mandatory. Setting the field as a required or mandatory. That can also be controlled from the Managed Business Configuration. Adding a custom field. Now, if you want to add a custom field here, that is also possible apart from the standard field. If you want to create a custom field, that is also possible. You have the succession, data succession and the BCUI BCUI, what it says this year. Specify the succession and the countries. Specific succession data model must be configured in the XML in the provisioning system and uploaded. Then only we can use the BC. What it says. If you have the succession data model and the country specific section data model configured in the XML in the provisioning, then only we can use the BC UI. Without that, we cannot able to use the BC UI. That is required that both the data models has to be imported and uploaded from the back end system. Then BC UI is not a replacement for all XML configuration, but rather a way for customers to independently make minor changes to the configuration. BCUI is not a replacement. Now you have a tool that is in the front end, manage business configuration. It doesn't mean that if this tool is there in the front end, there is no requirement of XML is there. Data model is there in the back end. Because of that, only the manage business configuration will work in the front end. And also whatever changes you have, we are making here, that will be automatically updated in the XM because both are synchronized to each other. Is it clear? Any questions? Now it was an overview. What is a business? What is a management configuration? What is the purpose? What is the use? How we are using it? To access this tool from the front end. First of all, we have to enable this tool from the provisioning. In the provisioning, there is an option called Enable Business Configuration in Admin Tool. This option will be available in the provisioning. I cannot show you the provisioning right now. But in the provisioning, we will be having this option. This option will help us. You need to enable this option. Once you enable this option, that is the first step. Second step is that you have to come down to the instance. Instance means what? Front end system, right? When you come into the instance we have not started RBP. But when you come into the instance, you have to come to the permission role. Let me show you that also. We have a RBP tool manager. Permission roles. Don't get confused because we have not started this topic. I will explain to you later. I'm going into the system admin. After enabling that permissions from the provisioning, you have to come here in the instance. Go to the permission role. Come to the administrative permission and here the search for manage business configuration. Can you see your manage business configuration? This option. Why this option is coming? Because we have first of all enabled it from the provisioning. You may also experience a situation when you are coming into the front end. If this option is not there, then you can assume that is it enabled from the provisioning or not. You need to log in into the provisioning and check once. Once it is enabled here, then we can go here and we can able to give the necessary permissions. Under manage business configuration, we have a lot of things are there, a lot of features are there. That is background element, custom filter, dynamic to filter employee file standard, all the standard one, all these things. We need to enable it from here. Once it is been enabled, and we can directly search for manage business configuration. We can search for manage is configuring before going to manage this configuration. After enabling the thing from the provisioning and then further from the instance, what we need to do, you have to go into the BCUI screen, and BCUI screen is again divided into two parts, that is Employee Central and the Employee Profile. Employee Central, what it says in this section, BCUI screen is divided into two parts, E, C and EP. Employee Central and Employee Profile. Employee Central, what it says. In this section, we can find the HR's element that are shown in the personal information. Job info. HR's element is what it is, nothing but this one. When you go here, can you see these portlets? Pastel information, can you see? This is biographic information, national ID, right? If you go here into job information, these portlets are nothing but the HR's element, got it. Whichever portlet you are seeing, that is the HR's element in Manage Business Configuration. That only it is saying in this section. We can find in this section under Employee Central and from where it is coming, which is under Manage Business Configuration. Correct. That it is saying Employee Profile, what it says. Employee Profile, what it says. In this section, we have two elements, standard element and a user info element. There are some standard elements and there are some user info elements that are shown in the different portlets. Sometimes what happened? We can also see the some standard elements and the user info elements in these portlets also. From where it is coming? It is coming from the employee profile and the managed business configuration. Coming into the system, if I want to show you, can you see? Employee Central is divided in this management configuration is divided into two parts. Main, Employee Central and Employee Profile. When you go into the Employee Central, you can see HR's elements are there, right? All these are the HR's elements. These HR's elements are nothing but the portlets, right? In the employee profile, if I want to go to suppose, here you can see copy info. Is there compensation? Email info is there. Then home address is there. Job info is there. All these are there. And then when you go into personal info, when you go into the personal info, now when you enter into the personal info, in XML, if you remember, I told you that every element and every field is divided into two parts, ID and labor right. Yesterday I told you. Here in the succession data model also. Even in the manage, this is configuration also. Each element which you are seeing, that is divided into two parts. ID and the label, this identifier which you are seeing, this is the ID. And this is the label which you are seeing here. Personal info. If you want to change the label, then that will be reflecting here. If you make the changes, it will be updated here. And under the element and the label, you can see this is the HR's field, right? And this HRS field also will be having certain attributes we have seen in the corporate data model, right? Attributes are there. Correct. Those attributes, they are divided in column wise. Just now, We have seen in the table view and in the source view in XML how the attributes are showing. A corporate data model. Same thing we can able to see in succession data model. But when we come into the manage business configuration, that attribute we can see like this: identifier label enabled mandatory. Can you see here? And the translations identify here. It is what? Here it is. For HRIS field, identify means what? The label. No idea. Don't forget it, because these naming convention we should always remember. That is the thing I am striking you again. I know it is an afternoon. It is a sleepy mood, but I just want to push you people. HRIS field. Under this we have two parts, that is identified and label. Identify is always the standard one. Label, we can able to do the changes here. When you are making a changes, it is in which language? English. When you want to make it in other language, you click on here. You can see other translations you can able to update here. Who will give this translation? Customer will give. Although we don't have to do anything, because here they already, it is a standard one. But if you are creating some custom one, those translation will be provided by the customer. The label and the translation. Activating the field means, I told you no, that is enabling the field. That is showing here. And now you can see here. Mandatory means required. The style mark will be there in a red color star mark. How it is coming? Because if you are making it yes or no. No means it is not mandatory. Got. Further, when you go here, when you go into the details, you can see further attributes. Are there? Identifier label enabled mandatory. Apart from that. Data type. I will explain to you when again we will go and see create a field. When you again scroll down, you can see visibility. Can you see the visibility part? Edit or view. Edit means in XML, both you means what? Sorry, if you are removing means it is non-right. You means only, you are only giving you a readable mode, right? Not a editable mode. That is the thing which you are going in the visibility part. Then masking. Masking means certain fields are there, which have some sensitive information. You want to hide those fields values. That is called as a masking. That is also the length of the field. Important fields only. I am just covering up which you will be using frequently. These all things are coming under details. For each field, right? Similarly, we have multiple fields. Are the salutation, first name, middle name, last name. You can see here every field. You have a detail here. Then you have an action you can have. You can see the action option where you have a sequence display, sequence, right? This display sequence means what? How it is organized here. How the sequence is coming. That is about this one C arrow. How you want to keep the sequence of the field, display of the field. When you scroll down the field, You can see here custom strings. You see here custom string. You can see all the custom strings are there. Custom fields, custom 20. Then you have a custom date. Can you see here? Your custom long. Custom long is also nothing but the numbers, only double will be there. And also you have some custom fields with some names already there. When you are creating something, you can check here also if some default name is there or not. You can see date of death. Right. Then something which you are having better and healthcare number visibility minus rather going and writing it in a custom. It is already there. You can choose that as the idea and you can mention this one vertical label here, how the label you want. If the ID is not there, then whatever the custom strings are there, you can choose from that. That is one thing. And then coming after the HRS field, you can find one trigger. Trigger rule is also a section where in the field, in the coming session, when I will take the concept of a business rule. Whenever we are creating a business or business only something where you are creating a logic and according to the logic, the action will be performed automatically with the help of the business. When you are writing a business rule, that rule has to be assigned at a particular portlet. In Manage Business Configuration, that portlet is known as HRIS element. If I'm trying to write a business rule for a personal information, then I should assign that rule in the personal information section. Got. When I go into the personal information section, you can see HRIS field is there and the trigger rule section is also there. This is the way it works on a real-time basis. Now this entire screen which you are seeing, this is a vertical. This is a global view. Global view means, I was just saying manage business configuration. In manage business configuration, correct? But when you are seeing it for any element, this part which you are seeing, this is a global view. Global view means it is applicable to all countries. Correct? Whatever field I am creating here, that is applicable to all countries. If it is Australia, if it is China, if it is India, if it is US, any country, it will be applicable. That is a global view. But if I want to go specific to a particular country, then we need to go with a country specific, right? We have two types of data models, right? Succession data model and a country specific succession data model. That succession data model and country succession data model can also be possible from manage business configuration also. Now what you're seeing, a view. This is a global view, means whatever changes which you are making, that is applicable to all customers, right? What is the data model which we are using, which we are updating? That is succession data model, right? To show you further, if I want to go to home address, let me go to the home address. Now you can see home address. HRIS fields are there, right? This fields, whatever you are making, it is applicable to all countries. But if you want any field particularly to a specific country, then you have a plus. you have an arrow here. Right click on this arrow. Can you see country-specific home addresses are there? Now, if I want to make something for India, where is India here? You can see here India. When I click on India, it will take you to the country specific. Now here whatever changes I am making here in the employee related field for the country India, this is applicable to India only, right? Whenever I'm hiring an employee and when I'm selecting the country as India, then it is only reflecting in the employee profile who belongs to India country. But I'm going normally outside if I'm not going with the country specific. For example, if I'm not going here and I'm just trying to close it and I'm just clicking on this over in the front side. This is a global view. It means that whatever changes I'm making here, it is applicable to all countries by default because it is not con-specific. Got understood the difference between the global and the country specific? In succession data model, you are doing it separately. In succession data model, you are doing it separately for succession data model and country-specific succession data model. But here in managed business configuration, both are done in the single application. If I want to go to job information, for example, and in the job information, what is this you call? This is a global view, which will be showing right now. Whatever the view which you are seeing here, this is a global view. If I'm just trying to update or modify or add, if I'm just trying to add any field here, where will be that field? Reflecting. If I'm creating a field here, where will be that field reflecting? The home address of no, that. This is for home address only. No, this is for job information. But the question is that is it applicable to all countries or it is not? It is applicable to specific countries. All countries since we went to the top. Yes, that you should be clear. When you get a requirement from the customer, you should understand that if it is a country specific or it is applicable to all countries. Then only you can able to go and do the configuration. Here when you're going and creating, suppose if I'm going and creating a field for number of temporary contract. Number of temporary contract it is applicable to all countries. When I'm creating here, but suppose if I'm going under job information and if I'm going and creating something for Argentina, I think this way. If I'm creating something for you, a custom field, it means what? Whenever I'm hiring an employee who is basically from the UA, in that your sample file, it will be reflecting. But if I'm taking an employee from the US, I'm at the same time. That's it will reflect in the job information. No, it will not reflect, right? Because we are configuring at a country's first, right? This is a country's first. And I'm choosing suppose I am creating a number of temporary contracts that is only applicable to you, employees. This is a place where you are trying to configure the fields. How the fields will come after the configuration, that field will be reflecting here right under the job info. Connect under the job info. When you're seeing here these common fields, if you are coming, that means that is configured under global view. If it is a country specific, you're adding that field when you are going with that particular country employee. Then that field will be showing here. Got understood the difference here? Any questions here? I will pause for the while. That the country is specific. It will be related to which object while hiding the country region. Since if we select it is India, then it would automatically check here before the India tab. That's how they are related and how that. Yes, when you are selecting, see these, feel these employees related. Quotlet. This is the standard one. This is standard one. When you are hiring, had we completed add new employee functionality? Yes, we did. If you remember, we have when we hired a user, at that time we have gone with the full sections, right? Identity, personal information, job information and compensation, right? When you are going and filling that particular field, you can see that field is already showing there, right? In the form. How the fields are coming from. Here the fields are. Got it? First of all, when you are going and creating, when you are adding in your employee, what you are selecting, your legal entity, right? When you are setting in legal entities already connected with a country, right? Yes. When you are selecting a legal entity, system already updates the job information also that this is for this country and for that country, this custom field should be visible. In that way, system automatically changes that custom field for that particular country. When a HR or when a recruiter, somebody who will do the hiring of the user with the help of adding employee, they can able to see that particular field for that particular country. These are the ones which are getting expected in add new. Yes, correct. Now you can able to correlate, right? Whatever. Sometimes while practicing, somebody would have already added some field which is not relevant, and you want to remove that field, or you want to hide that field. In that case also, suppose in the personal info, when you go into this, you can see some fields are there where you want to hide that field. You can go here and you can able to keep it enabled or disable it. You can also go and see here what are the custom. Can you see here how many custom fields are created, which is showing here, and you can see. You need to check which is enabled. Whichever is enabled, that will be showing in the ad. Whichever is showing us no, that is not reflecting. Got. Same case applies to import employee data also. Now you created a custom field here and now you are downloading this one vertical URL file, right, or basic import file. There also that the custom field will be reflecting. See, whatever came, whatever, because this is the foundation, this is the base of the employee related. Although we are doing earlier, we were doing it from this DM, that is from the succession data model. Now we have an option to do it from the front end, that is from the instance. The help of manage business configuration. Is it clear? Any questions from your then? Here when you go and see, this is I shown you for personal info. If I will go to the email info, you can see what are the email info. This is the label, right? And here you can see label under the test field. What all things are there? Label is there. Email type, email address is primary. If you want to go and see where it is, we can see that contact information, right? This one. When you open this, you can see email. That email address is primary. Can you see this field? The three things from where it is coming from. Here it is. And you can see all the three things are enabled. All the three things are mandatory here also. You can see all the three things are mandatory. Got it. Now here if you want to add a new field, according to the customer requirement, then you have to go and create the field here. And give the proper label, enable it. And when you are giving the label, you should also give the check, the label here also, if it is properly updated or not. You have a question. And after that, just save it and just go to the employee profile and check if it is visible. In this way, we can able to. In the add new employee, also whatever the filling of the email information, phone information which you are filling, these fields are actually coming from here. This all fields are coming from here. Got. We will continue. I'm holding this session for today here because I don't want to go in a very fast track. Just take your time. When you get the time, you try to. Go to the add new employee, open one screen and also try to see the manager business one position. Try to compare it and just try to do simple modification by enabling it, disabling it. But don't try to hamper any standard feeling. In that way, you can able to see if the changes are reflecting or not. In the coming session, anyway, I will show you how to create the custom field, how to make the changes. All this part I will cover in the next session. But when you are going with the add new employee and when you see certain fields are there which is not required, or you want to make it disable or make it inactive for a while, that also we can able to do it. But when you're going with the add new employee, you should save as a draft when I duplicate the screen and when I open this. And when I go here, when I click on Add New Employee, let me, if I am taking, when you click on Continue, here you can see you have an option here to save as a draft. Can you see here right side? A button will be there right side below. Is it visible or not visible? Can you save? Now you are working on particular section and you see that this field it is not required. Now you can see this bad guy it is. It is, if you want to make it non-mandatory, you will go. For that if you are saving as a draft, from where you can able to get it when you save as a draft, you can go to. You can go to Manage Ending. Hi. After saving as draft, I'm showing you that you will not lose your data, whatever you have created. And after going into Manage Pending Hire, go and after going into the draft, you can search here when it will show here the list. Whatever the hiring you are doing, that name will be reflecting here. It is still in the process. Now you can see here the list of the names. When you are hiring somebody and if you are saved as a draft, you can check that name will be reflecting here. And again you can click on that name. It will redirect to the same page. Is it clear? As draft, if you do a save a draft, we can we see the employee like we are seeing able to see as employee profile or people profile for him? Employee profile is not created now. You are on the process of creating employee profile with the help of add new employee. Now, while on the process of creating when you are doing add new employee, you start up in one section. You got started up in some section, but you don't. If you go out from the section you will enter, data will be lost. Getting my point? You have to do from scratch onwards. Rather doing from the scratch onwards, what you can do? You can save as a draft and then that defy the issue. And then if you want to work again, what you need to do? You go to Manage Pending Hire, go to the draft from here and search for the user. Thus for the candidate which you are trying to create it. And then when you go and click on, it will again take you into that at the end by page. I understand. You are telling about the event, reason, for even reason, when you are apart from India. Suppose if you are going and creating any user for other country, what you need to do? You need to check here, go to the Manage Data, and you need to go to Country Region. And suppose I am going for India. In India, when I go here, I go to make correction and here I should select the event reason as new hire. Suppose the same thing if I am going for something for Belgium. Belgium. And in Belgium, you can see we need to select the event category because it is blank. If you are hiring somebody for Belgium, it is the event reason is blank. You have to come here and you have to check that event reason is added or not. Whichever event. Any questions here? All good. This common issues which you can able to get while doing hiring. Event isn't which country you are going. That country you can go and search here in the managed data and check that country, that event reason is blank or not. Otherwise, we need to fill. Thank you. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.